We tapped into then Chief of Detectives Anthony Ambrose at the county to come and be our public safety director here in the city of Newark.
First thing that I'd like to mention is I'd like to strengthen the major crimes shooting response team. Last year we had 382, maybe a little more, shootings in the city of Newark. The majority of them shootings occurred in the central, west, and south wards. Right now we have a major crimes unit that we are going to transfer a minimal of 20 detectives in today. By 4 o'clock today, 20 more police officers, made detectives, will be transferred in there. We had 104 murders. Out of them murders, 80 of them happened in the same area. So the homicide task force, which the county handled, they will be increased with detectives also today. We have to focus on enforcement and investigative if we want to reduce violence and reduce crime. So we're lacking on both ends, and this plan will eliminate the lacking immediately. I want to get better intelligence. We're going to have an intelligence unit that's going to be hooked up right under the shooting response team with 24-hour intelligence on the street, boots on the ground, giving the intelligence. Not every murder, not every shooting is suppressible. I hope people realize that we could have 1 million cops, but if someone wants to kill someone, they're going to kill them. If someone wants to shoot someone, they're going to shoot them. But we want to minimize it. We want to be able to control crime and make people feel safer, and we want to also increase perception of our police force. We're also going to target, we call it eateries, we call it restaurants, we want to call it hangouts, where some of the drug dealing and some of the bad people flock to 24 hours a day. With the mayor's blessings, which we have, and now fire under me and OEM, we're going to work with the health department, with the fire department, with the police department, and neighborhood services to go into these establishments, cite them, and close them down if needed, because they're becoming perennial problems in the neighborhoods. And a lot of people in the city know these places because they're calling me and giving me the locations. That will begin. We're going to assess the police communications. Right now, I know that there is a response time issue. When you call the police, they don't respond in a timely fashion, or they don't answer the phones. I am doing a complete assessment. I'm putting a committee together. Under the ordinance of Public Safety Director, there is a communications director that shall report to me. That is going to be looked at. By putting more people in the streets, officers, I believe that your response time will decrease slightly. We're going to reorganize internal affairs. Internal affairs was one of the main focal points behind the consent decree. I'm asking the county prosecutor, Carolyn Murray. I'm asking people from the outside that are law enforcement to do an assessment of internal affairs and give me recommendations in 45 days. We also have an attorney that will be assigned from the law department to me to oversee some of the internal affairs matters and be my eyes and ears on the trial board. Whole community ComStat. I think it's important that we have ComStat, Command Status Conference, every Thursday. Every Thursday but Thanksgiving. It'll be on a Wednesday. If you'd like to come, you just call my office and we'll put your name on a list and you can come. But I want to show the citizens of this city, and even the people that work here, to come and show them how we do business and what we do and how we address their complaints and how we address crime. So what I'm asking for, and we will have in 45 days, a community ComStat in a church auditorium or in a school auditorium, inviting the public to monitor our ComStat. I also like to have community citizen surveys. In order for me to do better and the police department to do better, I would like to query people that had contact with the police department in 2015 and asking them how their service was, how the officers were to them, were they satisfied with the service, so I can gauge our training so we can improve our efficiency and our effectiveness of the police department. I'm also going to query the police officers and find out what they need, because it's important. I think the last thing is the public safety, and this is community engagement that we're lacking, that we need to have a public safety police academy to bring the clergy and the citizens in under one roof for 9 weeks, 3 hours a week, 3 hours once a week, and teach them and let them know, let them be our eyes and ears so they can go out to the community, what the police department does, what the fire department does, and what OEM does, and what resources are available to them. I think it's important. So this plan is 45 days. It's not going to reduce violence immediately. I told one reporter it's like being on a diet and you're 600 pounds and you want to lose 100 pounds. It's going to take time. So the residents that live here, people that work here, people that play here have to bear with us. We ask you to be our partners against crime. We ask you to report crime to us. And I will be meeting with the mayor and the administration and the council, and I will be rolling out after this 45 days a 90-day plan that will be more comprehensive and more in tune of a lot of things that have been occurring that have been systemic. I want to say that I have met 5 times with the U.S. Attorney, Paul Fishman, who's very supportive. He has convened a meeting with all federal agencies. We have some initiatives that I don't want to mention today. It's too premature, that will be coming into Newark. Just 2 days ago, myself and Acting Chief Darnell Henry was flown down by State Police helicopter to State Police and met with representatives from the Attorney General's office, that I've asked for help for a minimum of 6 months in the city, and it looks very good and promising. And I've talked to the Essex County Prosecutor, Carolyn Murray, my old boss, who's 100% on board also, and we're doing some operations together as we speak. I'm completed. I gave you my 45 critical day plan.
We want to close, but I want to say that, I want to thank the council for being here. That's for sure. And while I'm up here, I'd like to say, if I can just get people in the city to be as irritated about homicide and murder as we were about the snow, we be in, so all of the hashtags, I want you to hashtag me and say, this is the guy who beat this lady up last night. This is the person I know who did this shooting. Like, hit me with that, hashtag that, put that out on Facebook, Twitter, internet, everywhere you have. You need to expose what's happening in these communities because you know these people, other than just going to work and doing what you normally do and saying that this is the police job. It's all of our job to make sure that our communities are safe, that they're clean. The same way as our job is our job to make sure that the neighborhoods is clean, that the snow is up, that everything is going on. It's also our job to be able to report people who are committing these kinds of crimes in our neighborhood. And we need people's help to do that. I mean, every day I had like 20, 30, 40 inboxes and Twitter messages about how people were aggravated and upset. And I appreciate that. I really do. I just want us to turn that now, that same energy and mobilization that we had, I want us to turn that into reporting some of these criminals that are out here making our community unbearable. We were able to pull a guy off of the street thanks to the prosecutor's office and the fine work of our guys and their guys together the other day, a person who has been menacing this community for a very long time, who has come into contact probably with many women in our community. It's important for all of those women to inbox the mayor, to tweet me, right, to hashtag me and say, this guy is a problem and here's why. This guy is crazy and here's why. He needs to be removed from the street, and these are the things. So if we could just get people excited enough to do that, then we could have prevented 2 or 3 people from getting killed. We could have had this guy in bars a long time ago, and that's what we need from the residents of the city, the same kind of fiery support and anger and hostility around violence and crime in our city.